online platform to Google Meet. So more number of students are not joining, still are continuing our class. So now I request to sir to start his presentation.
Thank you, Banirai sir. So I have already this is so. Thank you very much, Banirai sir, and thank you very much, IGNOU authorities for arranging such a online classes for the betterment of the students. Good afternoon to students and my dear learners. So today we will discuss Unit 5 and 6 of Block 1 and Block 2 also will discuss. So we have already discussed. So we have already discussed 4 units of Block 1. So you know that very well. I have one paper that is MRD 103. So when I have assigned paper MRD 103, so in MRD, three blocks are there. Each block there are some units. So in each first block we have 6 units. So we have completed 4 units already. So in my previous class, due to some network problems, I was unable to take the class completely full hour. Full-time class was not taken by me, not possible at all, due to the weather condition and network problems. So I am sorry for that. So today I will take more time to finish the block 2. So block 1, unit 5 and unit 6 today we will discuss. So block 1, unit 4, unit 5, we have already discussed multi-level planning. So today we will start unit 5, that is grassroots level planning. So unit 5 and 6 are grassroots level planning in block level and planning in village level. So unit 5 grassroots level planning in block level. So what is or what do you mean by grassroots level planning? So grassroots level planning means planning should start from the grassroots, from the bottom. That means top to bottom. From the bottom, the planning will be organized for the bottom people. That means the people who are residing below the poverty line. Planning will be implemented for them to the middle class also and to the higher class of the society. So you know that we have already discussed planning is a blueprint, planning is a panacea, planning is a pre-strategy which will develop the country's economic condition. And we know that India is an underdeveloped country due to the nature of underdevelopment. So proper planning is required for the country's economic development. So in India, we have in our previous class discussed that rural people and urban people. So most of the people of India are residing in the rural sector or the remote areas. In remote areas, people are underdeveloped. So the people who are residing below the poverty line and the remote areas, so they are known as the grassroots level of people. So planning for the grassroots level of people. So that is block level planning. So block level planning, that means under Panchayat Raj system or Panchayat Raj Act implemented in 1992 Act. So according to Panchayat Raj system, decentralization of power. We have already discussed the centralization of power, what are the merits and demerits of centralization of power, and we have already discussed decentralization of power. So power will be decentralized. That means power should be given to the people of the society and they are the actual authority of the country. So the planning will be made for them in block level planning. So in block level planning, planning will be developed in the area wise. That means each and every area should be developed in the country. Each and every area, that means we have already discussed inequality prevailed in the country. Poverty, unemployment, inequality leads to starvation death in our country. So when poverty, unemployment and inequality occurs in our country, so in different regions, regional inequality is one inequality in our country. Regional inequality means one region is developed, another region is not developed. For example, Maharashtra, Delhi, UP, Haryana, Punjab, these are the developed, these areas are developed. Odisha, Bihar, West Bengal, these are the underdeveloped states of India. So regional planning, that means area development. So in planning, in block level, emphasis will be given to each and every sector of the people. When emphasis will be given to each and every sector of the people, block wise, the planning will be adopted and each area will be developed. That is area development program and beneficiary oriented programs for target groups. Some groups will be targeted. So we have already discussed different classes of inequality has been seen according to the population. Some people are developed, some people are underdeveloped. That means rich class people, higher rich class people. Middle class people, higher middle class people, low middle class people. Similarly, poor people who are residing below the poverty line, they are unable to consume sufficient needs, basic needs. They are unable to get the basic calories of food. We know that a normal adult or a normal adult 2400 calories of food is required. So when 2400 calories are required, the person who is unable to consume this 2400 calories of food is in the poverty stage. So beneficiary. So programs, policies should be implemented. Proper planning should be adopted for the rural development. That means beneficiaries. That means who are under the poverty line, they should get justice. That is block level planning. That means in block wise planning should be adopted. So each and every people of the block should get emphasis. So what are the main objectives of block level planning? So when we implement one plan, definitely there are certain aims and objectives. So what are the aims and objectives of the block level planning? So number one aim and objective of block level planning is increase employment and income of the poor. Increase employment and income of the poor. So employment. We know that India is a country where the prime occupation is agriculture. The agricultural sector is overcrowded. 52.8% people are depending on agriculture, but agriculture is not required such number of people for its cultivation. That means overcrowding, that is disguised unemployment occurred in agriculture sector. So when disguised unemployment occurred in agriculture sector, overpopulation leads to surplus labor. So unemployment occurs in our country. So we know that population explosion occurred in our country. So when population explosion means population will increase beyond the normal rate. That means in geometrical progression, population occurs in our country. That means geometrical progression means 2, 4, 16, 256. In this way, the population increased in our country. So due to massive population growth, due to heavy population explosion in our country, unemployment is massive in our country, and we are unable to provide employment opportunity. So neither in the government sector, neither in the private sector, neither in the public sector, neither in the economic sector, commerce sector, foreign sector, domestic sector, neither any sector will able to provide employment opportunity to the growing population. भारत वर्ष रे जो हार रे जनसंख्या वृद्धि पाउची कौनसी क्षेत्र ए वर्धित जनसंख्या को निजुक्ति सुयोग प्रदान करने को असमर्थ। द्वितीय रे कहूँ आमे कौन भारत वर्ष गोटे अंडर डेवलप्ड कंट्री। तेणु block level planning in blocks. So state India is a country which is divided into different states, and each and every state is divided into different districts. Each district is divided into different tahsils and blocks. So blocks are also divided into panchayats. So this is panchayat raj system. So in India, block level planning, प्रत्येक block planning करिया में जो माने गरीब बा पुअर पीपल से डेवलपमेंट को ब्लॉक लेवल प्लानिंग बोले। That means motivate the people from the block level for the economic development of the country. That block level planning टा रुआमे economic development पे चेष्टा करवा दरकार। तो कौन तार फर्स्ट एम एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव होची ब्लॉक लेवल प्लानिंग रा। ब्लॉक लेवल प्लानिंग रा एम्स एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव रहउची कोन increase employment and income of the poor. That means planning should be occurred in such a manner that employment opportunity should be given to the people of the society. Planning टा यही बड़े हवा दरकार जे ब्लॉक रा समस्त लोगों को नियुक्ति सुजोग प्रदान करा जाए जीवा दरकार नियुक्ति सुजोग प्रदान करा जाए पारिवा दरकार एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी दे दे परिवा खाली एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी दे हबनी तापर से कोडी कोन इनकम ऑफ द पुअर so poor people's income is very low in our country when the people's income is very low in our country so their income should increase so the first objective of block level planning is increase employment and income of people तर प्रथम लक्ष्य ब्लॉक लेवल प्लानिंग रहउची लोक मानन को नियुक्ति सुजोग देई तांकर आय को वृद्धि करबा दरकार सेकेंड रे कोन कहउची डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द वीकर सेक्शन of the block weaker section all people are not equal all people are not developed some people are weaker section को माने होचंती marginal farmers agricultural laborers artisans they are the weaker section of the society so in a block there are so many marginal farmers agricultural laborers artisans their income is very low and they are residing very subsistence condition they are semane बहुत ओटे चाला घर झोपड़ी घर जुटा कहू जामे से झोपड़ी घर रहउते कुडिया घर रहउते तेनो semane कर रहिबा स्टाइल मध्ये खराब एवं तेनो semane कर उन्नति करे पे डेवलपमेंट weaker section that means in block level planning who are weaker section of the community weaker section of the society their development should occur how they are developed in the country that should be adopted. This is second objective. Then third objective is building social and economic infrastructure. Building social and economic infrastructure. We know that the person who is poor, his social status is very low. His standard of living is very low. So planning should be implemented. His social status should increase. That means equal justice should be given to the poor people. And economic infrastructure माने भित्ति भूमि रा उन्नति social infrastructure is divided into parts one is social infrastructure another is economic infrastructure social infrastructure education health these are the social infrastructure economic infrastructure improve the quality of the people physical quality life index that means economically they should be sound economically they should be developed. So economical development should occur in the country. So this is the third objective. Then upgrading technology. So the industries which we adopt or our industries are low in quality. But the industries which are or the techniques or the technology which are implemented in the developed countries like your America, Japan, Germany, in these developed countries, the technology which is implemented, they are using better technology. But our technology is very low level technology. Suppose one industry is in India and same quality, same type of industry is in Washington DC of America. So if that industry will able to produce 100 tons of production per a day, then our quality of technology will able to produce 1 ton per day. So they are far ahead. They are better in technology. So our planning should be used in such a way that upgrading technology. That means technology should be upgraded. That means higher technology should be adopted in our country. This is the main objective of block level planning. Then there is a planning team should be. बुझला ए aims and objective भितरे ए चारिटा के तार block level planning रा aims and objective रहउची. तर प्लानिंग जे हबो को माने प्लान भितर रहिबे in block level planning that means emphasis will be given to the poor people and their improvement is known as block level planning. So who will be the member or who are the member of the block level planning? A block level planning रे को माने member होछ ये के रहउछ chief planning officer. So who will coordinate the plan? Chief planning officer. An officer will be appointed. He will coordinate all the persons of the plan to implement the plan. Then chief planning officer, what a chief planning officer रहिबो तापरे geographer means विभिन्न geographical areas which area is fit for what. So what commodity, which area will be fit for what commodity, को area टा को commodity production रो fit हो, कोठी आखु ही परिबो, कोठी धान ही परिबो, कोठी मक्का ही परिबो. So the geographical, so one geographical owner or one geographist will be appointed. Then economist will be appointed. Economist, that means how much money will be required for the plan. Economist will make the plan. जे प्लान करिवो केते पैसा आवश्यकता रहथिबो ते बडी इकोनॉमिस्ट रहबा दरकार. Then statistician, so statistician, one statistician will be appointed. Then credit planning officer, how much money is required, from which source that money will be recovered, from which source that money will bring. So credit planning officer. Then agronomist, agricultural officer, what cultivation, what type of cultivation will occur in which area, को area रे को प्रकार cultivation अब सिद्ध जाने agronomist रहे. Then engineer will be appointed. Engineer, irrigation, civil, so PhD, so different types of engineers whose lookout is to look regarding the production, increase of production in their areas. That means suppose PhD engineer, पानी किम दिया जाए परियो, civil engineer, road building किम दिया करा जाए परियो, irrigation, कोटी canal हवा, कोटी minor research project हवा, कोटी minor irrigation project हवा, तनो जिम्ति हमारा major irrigation project जिम्ति हिराकुदोरे major irrigation project अच्छी, तो विभिन्न जगह रे minor irrigation projects आते हैं. So how the minor irrigation projects will be occurred. So engineers, then industrial officers, for the industrial management, industrial officer will be appointed. So planning team will be consist of chief planning officer, geographer, economist, statistician, credit planning officer, agronomist, engineer, irrigation, civil, PhD engineers will be in the planning team. Then industrial officers will be the planning team. A planning team bhitare a officer mane rahibe. So these officers will in the planning team. Then plan for resource development. So in our second class, I have already discussed that India is a country which is an underdeveloped country. So, but though India is an underdeveloped country, but India is full of natural resources, but scarce in its utilization. India is full of natural resources, but scarce in utilization. भारत प्राकृतिक संपदरे भरपूर होइता गोटे राष्ट्र हेले मध्य प्राकृतिक संपदर सुविनियोगर अभाव फलरे भारत वर्ष गोटे अनुन्नत राष्ट्र. तेणु से कौन कहूँ, so plan for resource development. So we have much resources. Natural resources are plenty, abundant quantity of natural resources are in India, but these natural resources are not utilized. So optimum level of utilization of natural resources should be adopted in our country. Highest level of natural resources को आम country रे adopt करवा दरकार. जहाँ फल से कौन होची resource allocation. वो resource allocation अब agriculture. So rural belt, most of the people of the remote areas are depending on agriculture. So agriculture is a natural resource. So we have to give emphasis on agricultural improvement, more production from agricultural sector. कृषि क्षेत्रରୁ ଅଧିକ ଉତ୍ପାଦନ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବା ଦରକାର. ତାପରେ ସେ କହୁଛି allied sector, agriculture and allied sector. So agriculture and allied sector, forestry, fishery, animal husbandry. So these are the allied sector. Allied sector ମାନେ ସେ କହୁଛି तत्सलग्न, तामाने कृषि सहित आउ जो क्षेत्र गुड़िक ग्रामांचल होचे सेगुडा कहाଯାଏ allied sector, अर्थात कृषि एवं तत्सलग्न किछि सेक्टर जोडा कि डेवलप करबा दरकार. कोडा फॉरेस्ट्री, फिशरी, फ्लोरिकल्चर, हॉर्टिकल्चर, animal husbandry, this should be developed in our country. Then industries, so government should take care to establish industries. तेणु या व्यक्त इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट गोटे ग्रामांचल रे हवा दरकार. जहाँ फल कृषि क्षेत्र में जो ओवर क्राउडेड अच्छा जी लोग कृषि क्षेत्र दरकार ताठर जो अधिक लोग कृषि क्षेत्र अच्छा से सब दे विल बी डाइवर्टेड टुवर्ड्स द इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर. when they will divert it to the industrial sector, so industries will develop, simultaneously agriculture will develop, allied activities will develop, which will develop the infrastructural facilities in the country. जेके गोटे कंट्री रा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल फैसिलिटी को डेवलप कर परिबो. सो प्लान फॉर रिसोर्स एलोकेशन में कौन प्लान करिबा? एग्रीकल्चर डेवलपमेंट, allied sector development. Allied sector है forestry, fishery, floriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry. Then industrial development, then infrastructural facilities should be given to the people. If these facilities will be given to the people, so block level development will arise in the country. So block wise development so should be arise in the country. The country will attempt development. तेणु प्रथम फिफ्थ यूनिट से कौन कौचे ब्लॉक लेवल डेवलपमेंट. प्रत्येक ब्लॉक को इक्वल इंपोर्टेंस दे लोक मानकर डेवलपमेंट करबा, एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट करबा एवं इनकम टा को बढ़ेवाला ब्लॉक लेवल प्लानिंग रा लक्ष्य. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट आवर यूनिट 5 जोडा कि सेदिन मु साथ देथांती किंतु ड्यू टू प्रॉब्लम्स सेदिन वर्षा घड़घड़ चड़चड़ी मिदला और चड़चड़ी माल नेटवर्क टा कटि गला. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, नेटवर्क कटि गला सेति में I was left. wow रही पाले ने इधर नेटवर्क कटल आसला नि मोटल. I was trying, मु बहुत चेष्टा करथिले किंतु दिन नेटवर्क कटि जा फलरे मु पुणी इधर आस पाले ने आज तन मध्य समय नै कि तमरा ए ब्लॉक 2 टा सारी तनो एटाला यूनिट 5 सला हमर कोन यूनिट 5 टा सला ब्लॉक 1 यूनिट 5 सरीला कोडा ग्रास रूट लेवल प्लानिंग ब्लॉक लेवल. यूनिट 6 से कैंसर सेटा तला ब्लॉक लेवल एटा सला विलेज लेवल सही पंचायत राज सिस्टम जो अछि हमरा 1992 एक्ट अनुसार पंचायत राज सिस्टम इम्प्लीमेंट इन कंट्री. सो व्हेन पंचायत राज सिस्टम इम्प्लीमेंट इन कंट्री डिफरेंट ब्लॉक्स आर देयर. अगेन ईच एंड एवरी ब्लॉक कंसिस्ट्स ऑफ सम विलेजेस. प्रत्येक ब्लॉक किछि विलेज आ ग्राम को नै कि गठित अछि. जो ग्राम को नै गठित अछि एटा पड़िया कोन विलेज लेवल डेवलपमेंट. That means in rural development our MRD 103 कौन होची? MRD 103 होची rural development. ये जो rural development होची से कहउची कोन ए rural development रे village level development. That means more emphasis is given to the village level. That means most of the poor people, village माने remote area, ग्रामांचल गोटे होची सहरांचल गोटे ग्रामांचल. ग्राम रे जो मन वास करंती से मान को ग्रामांचल लोक बोली कहै छै. That means those people who are residing in villages is known as village level people or rural people. तो हमें 6th यूनिट कोन कहउची 5th यूनिट कला ग्रास रूट लेवल प्लानिंग कोटा ब्लॉक लेवल एटी कहउची ग्रास रूट लेवल प्लानिंग विलेज लेवल. So each and every village should be developed equal jinsa. तो से कहउची planning is a blueprint. So in a planning the decision should be taken or a blueprint will be implemented to develop the villages. Planning टा एबले हाबा दरकार जेमति कि समस्त विलेज गुडा समस्त ग्रामांचल उन्नति करियो. For that purpose, for the development of the rural sector, yes is a yojana. Yes is a yojana which is implemented in our country. Yes means EAS, Employment Assurance Scheme. That means it is the first and foremost duty of the government to provide 100 days work to each people. गोटे देश रे बेकार समस्या को दूरीभूत करिया पई सरकार प्रथम कर्तव्य होची 100 दिन मिनिमम 1 year consists of 365 days 6 hours. That means generally 365 days. ए जो 365 दिन अछि 365 दिन रो 100 दिन मिनिमम वर्क दबा सरकार कर्तव्य जाऊ को जे वेलफेयर स्टेट गोटे जनगणना राष्ट्र जो गोटे जनमंगल राष्ट्र रे तार प्रथम कर्तव्य हला तार लोक मान को नियुक्ति सुयोग दे पर दरकार. एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी शुड बी गिवन टू द पीपल. तेणु से कौन कहउची तेणु विलेज लेवल ए जो यस योजना दैट शुड बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड. सो द ब्लूप्रिंट ऑफ प्लानिंग विल बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन सच ए मैनर दैट the village people should be developed or the people of the village should be developed. So when the village people or rural development occur in the country, automatically we will achieve the economic development of the country. You know, आमे तोले rural development है परिबो तोले economic development है परिबो. तेणु all the local problems should be solved. When the local problems will solve, the panchayat raj system should develop. Each people will develop, per capita income will increase, per capita income When per capita income will increase, national income will increase. So when national income will increase, the government will provide more infrastructural facilities. The government will provide more infrastructural facilities to the people. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ଦେଶରେ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ପିଛା ମାନେ ଜଣକ ଗୋଟେ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତି ପିଛା ଯୋଉ ଆୟଟା ହଉଛି ତାହାକୁ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ପିଛା ଆୟ କୁହାଯାଏ। ଗୋଟେ ଦେଶରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ପିଛା ଆୟ ବଢିଲା ଅର୍ଥାତ୍ when the rural people's income will increase, definitely the per capita income will increase because most of the people of India are residing in the rural areas. भारत वर्षर अधिकांश लोक ग्रामांचल बसवास करता जो सेमानकर जदि आय बढ़िला ताले भारत वर्षर जातीय आय वृद्धि पाई मुंड पिछा आय वृद्धि पाइब। मुंड पिछा आय वृद्धि पाइले जातीय आय वृद्धि पाइब। जातीय आय वृद्धि पाइले सरकार लोक मानकु समस्त प्रकार सुविधा सुयोग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सोशल एंड इकोनॉमिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर विल गिवन टू द पीपल। सामाजिक एवं अर्थनैतिक भित्तिभूमिर उन्नति कर दे परिबो। गोटे गोटे सामाजिक सोशल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कहूँ एजुकेशन। So education is the minimum social infrastructure by which the country's economic development can occur. सेतिपय सरकार नियम कले प्रत्येक ग्रामांचल रे प्रत्येक ब्लॉक रे प्रत्येक गाँव रे गोटे गोटे स्कूल रहइबो। स्कूल रहइबो एवं कॉलेज मध्य गोटे गोटे ब्लॉक भीतर जोड़े ना तीनटा कॉलेज रहइबो। तनो स्कूल रहइबो कॉलेज रे पीपल और स्टूडेंट्स आर गेटिंग एजुकेशन फैसिलिटीज। जदी पिला माने शिक्षित हो पारे ते माने गोटे एजुकेटेड लोक कैन एजुकेटेड पर्सन नोज वेरी वेल हाउ टू अर्न हिज ब्रेड एंड बटर। गोटे लोक यदि एजुकेटेड हो पारिबो शिक्षित होइतिबो ताले तार केमिति खाद्य वस्त्र बासगृह जोगाड़ कर पारिबो कोन कले भलो कर पारिबो कोन कले उन्नति कर पारिबो से सेटा कर पारिबो। So that is the village level development. So planning should be adopted in each and every village for its development. That is grassroots level of planning for village level development. Then unit 1 block 1 रे हमर जो 6 यूनिट थिला we have 6 units in block 1 which we have already discussed. So in block 1 that is rural development planning. In the rural development planning we have 6 units, that is planning for rural development, planning process, multi-level planning, district planning, grassroots level planning, block level, grass level planning, village level. So these are the 6 units which we have already discussed in our block 1. Now we'll start block 2. So we have already discussed in MRD 1, 2, 3. 3 blocks are there. So when 3 blocks are there, block 1 rural development planning. In block 2 we'll discuss rural development management. So block 1 rural development planning पढ़ते हम 6 यूनिट तारा में पढ़ ले how planning will implement in the rural sector, what is planning, what is multi level planning, what is planning process, what is grassroots level planning. Grassroots level planning in blocks and in villages we have already discussed. So block 1 is finished. Now we'll go to block 2. So in block 2 rural development management. A block 2 टा रहला कोना हमरा rural development management. So what is that rural development management? You know very well what is management. Management means परिचालना करना. So management is the key of every success. Improper management is not possible to attain the success. So suppose an industrialist will open or establish an industry. When an industrialist will establish an industry, so when he will start the industry, if improper management will arise, then labor should change. Producers, so the other persons, technicians will not work properly. So the function of the industry will not work properly. That's why, so management is the important aspect for economic development. So जोटा हमें करना, but education institution देखा जाए. Suppose a college. So in Odisha, suppose in Odisha रे कौन है? ओडिशा रे प्रथमे अल्प कॉलेज है. Population explosion occurs, and Odisha government felt that without development of the colleges, it is not possible to achieve economic development. शिक्षार विकास यदि संभव नहीं परिबा, गोटे देशर विकास ही परिबा नहीं. तेणु सर विभिन्न जगह कॉलेज खोलले. कॉलेज खोला पर कौन हला? ए जो कॉलेज खोलले, कॉलेज रे कौन हला? मैनेजमेंट अंडर रे कॉलेज खोलले. जो मैनेजमेंट अंडर रे कॉलेज खोला गला, से मैनेजमेंट अंडर जो कॉलेज खोला हला, यदि मैनेजमेंट ठीक रे परिचालन न करि परिबो, ताले इकोनॉमिक कॉलेज ता ठीक रे चलिबनी. गोटे कॉलेज रा प्रिंसिपल जे ठीक रे कॉलेज रा डेवलपमेंट न देख परिबा, ताले कॉलेज रा डेवलपमेंट हे परिबनी. सार मैंने पाठ पढ़ेबेनी सामने ठकी चलिए so management is the important aspect for the economic development or any organization or for every organization. Management is required, proper management, better management is required. So management in second block we will discuss management, how proper management occurs. तेणु द्वितीय ब्लॉक रे पढ़िबा खाली प्लानिंग करि देला माने जो जो अनुष्ठान करिबा जो जो इंस्टीट्यूट करिबा से इंस्टीट्यूट रकर इकोनॉमिक आइडियाज डेवलपमेंट प्रोडक्शन सेलिंग डिफरेंट पार्ट अछि इकोनॉमिक्स रो ता केमिते परिचालना सुपरिचालना को क्वाजाय मैनेजमेंट प्रॉपर मैनेजमेंट सुपरिचालना अर्थात अर्थनीति रो उन्नति करिया पई ग्रामांचल रो विकास करिया पई सुपरिचालना रो आवश्यकता अछि. तो से कौन कहूँ फास्ट यूनिट तार कहूँ इश्यूज इन मैनेजमेंट ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स. Issues in management of rural development projects. That means for rural development we have already discussed different projects, different policies, different poverty eradication programs implemented in our country. We have already discussed IRDP, NREP. We have already discussed MGNREGA, ES. So different yojanas, different policies implemented in our country. So how these policies will be properly implemented, for that proper management is required. तेणु proper management सुपरिचालना र आवश्यकता रही. तेणु फास्ट हम पढ़िया issues in management for rural development. तेणु one is management, that is administration and management. Administration माने शासक कि बड़ी भाव में देश शासन सब देश शासक छथि. ऑटोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट, डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट विभिन्न प्रकार शासक छथि. किंतु मैनेजमेंट वाला ठीक रूप से परिचालित करवा गोटे सरकार को ठीक रूप से परिचालित करने को जनमंगल राष्ट्र बोले कह जाए. सो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट, वन साइड इज एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, अनदर साइड इज मैनेजमेंट. प्रॉपर मैनेजमेंट कंट्रीब्यूट एंड इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट. सो व्हाट आर द प्रोसेस ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. तो मैनेजमेंट पे कौन कौन प्रोसेस अछि को बाट दे कि मैनेजमेंट हे पारे. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, ओके.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
listening?
Yes,
Are you
sir.
listening?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So then we'll go. Okay. So we'll go to process of management. So what are the process? Management. परिचालना करिया पे कौन process? को बाट दे के हमें परिचालना करिवा. से कहूची fast planning. So number one process of planning or rural development is planning. That means we will adopt a better plan. That is planning should be implemented. Then organization संगठक आम तैयारी करवा. काली कहते गोटे पिकनिक जावा, गोटे पिकनिक गले जड़े किए लीडरशिप नब, दैट इज ऑर्गेनाइजर or entrepreneur. If one industry or any production arise, someone will take the initiation is known as entrepreneur, or by his initiation production process will start and production should increase in our country. So second is organization, first planning, second organization, third staffing. Staff किए चाकरी करेंगे किए रहिबे. गोटे स्कूल टाइम करवा, स्कूल जदि भल भल स्टूडेंट न रखा, दोज हु आर एबल टू टीच न रखा, तार से रहिबे ठीक पाठ पढ़ी पारे. ठीक पाठ न पढ़ी पारे पिला पाठ पढ़े न पढ़ी पारे प्रॉपर एजुकेशन डेवलपमेंट हम ना. सिमिलरली इन एन इंडस्ट्री, हाउ मच टेक्नीशियंस, हाउ मेनी टेक्नोलॉजिकल पर्सन्स should be required, that much should be adopted. Staffing, staffing माने केते स्टाफ रहिबे, that is under the management process. then प्रत्येक planning, organization, staffing, then directing. One will be director. गोटे फिल्म तैयारी होछि, जने प्रोड्यूसर से पैसा पत्र खर्च करूछि, फिल्म तैयारी करूछि, किंतु कोन फिल्म टा हबो, केमिति हबो, कोठी को एक्शन करिवे, कोठी को गीत रहइबो, कोठी सलाप रहइबो. So how the film will be attractive, how the film will be attractive to a person. So director will give the direction. So director तापरे direction दो. तो fourth रहला directing, then coordinating, coordination among different employees, one industry. So in that industry so many persons are working. For example, Reliance industry, Mukesh Ambani, Reliance industry, he is the manager, he will coordinate. He is coordinating everything. तेणु से गोटे करी चलछि जो प्रोडक्शन करूछि तार all production भितरे coordination, staff coordination is required. Otherwise proper management will not occur. Then reporting. So reporting means काम केते बाटे गला. So when we start the work, a report should be arise. A report should be given. How much progress of work, that is reporting, whether work is success or what work is unsuccess. So one or some persons are there who will report regarding the work culture. काम विषय रे जो माने report करिवे सेमान को हम कहया कोना reporting. Then budgeting. So one production occurred. For that production, what is the cost of production? What is the selling cost? How much or what price will sell? तेणु प्रथमे आमे बिक्री उत्पादन करबा केते खर्च कले केते बिक्री कले. If we produce the commodity at 10 rupees and sell the commodity at 8 rupees, then we will face loss. So budgeting. So budget. So 10 टंका रे हमें तैयारी करिकि 8 टंका रे बिकवा ता 2 टंका लॉस हो. तेणु हमें बजेट करिया दरकार. How the company will be benefited. कंपनी केमिते बेनिफिट पाइबो. तेणु these are the process of management. ऊपर रहला के मुकेश अंबानी तापर तार मैनेजर एसो रहले she will coordinate. तो सब भीतर कोऑर्डिनेट करिके करिया दरकार. That is the process of management. प्लानिंग करिया दरकार. तापर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्टाफ विषय चिंता करिया दरकार. Direction, directors are there, MD, managing director, chief advisor. So these are who will direct. So then coordinator, then reporting, then budgeting. These are the process of management. गोटे जिन्स गोटे द्रव्य बा गोटे organization to manage करिया पे ये process. So these are the process to organize properly the industry or education institution or any institutions of the country. So proper management will lead to benefit. Then ways of management. Process management पर हम पढ़े ways of management. तेणु कौन कले हमरा management है परुछि. से होछि ways. That is number 1 कहउछि कोन understanding the situation. Understanding the situation. So situation जहाँ दरकार अवस्था को देखिए हमें उत्पादन करिया दरकार. Suppose people are not interested for a commodity. If people are not interested for a commodity, a producer will produce those commodities which are not demanded by the people, then that producer will face loss. गोटे द्रव्य आमे उत्पादन करिबा जो द्रव्य ऊपर हमर दरकार नथिबो लोकल लोकर आवश्यकता नथिबो ताले कोन हम ताले प्रोडक्शन ता हेले कि बिक्री हे परिबो नै. So understand the situation. We should understand, we should feel the situation. अवस्था को देखी अवस्था को हमें अनुभव करी हमें प्रोडक्शन करबा दरकार. So the management process, number 1 way of management is understanding the situation. So we have to understand the situation. Identification of the right problem. Number 2, identification. Identification चिन्ह दबा बा बाछिबा which what is the problem, what is the right problem, कौन प्रकृतरे असुविधा होछि, and we will rectify the problems. So identification of the right problems. If any problem will arise, what are the problems of the production or selling of the commodity? If more problems will arise, how we rectify the problems, and after rectifying, how our production will improve. So that is identification. That means recognize the problems and solve that problem to produce more. Then search for alternative. Search for alternative. If we produce in one process, then that will be not beneficial. Then we have to search for alternative. हमें आउटे alternative अच्छा दरकार. गोटे अच्छे आउट produce दरकार. So when we start, when we choose the alternative, then if this will give some problems, we can solve that or adopt the alternative. हमें गोटे जगह को जीवा चाहते. तन गोटे जगह को जीवा चाहते हैं यदि हमें गोटे गाड़ी नहीं जीवा चाहिए, किंतु रोड भलो नहीं. तो alternative गोटे साइकिल में गले जाई परिया. तो से कहछि सर्च फॉर अल्टरनेटिव्स. तेणु आमे अन्य व्यवस्था गोटे उपाय करछे, से उपाय न गले अन्य उपाय करके उपाय अडॉप्ट करके आमे कहि पारे. दैट इज वेज ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. थर्ड रे से कोन कहछि, फोर्थ रे सिलेक्शन ऑफ द मोस्ट एप्रोप्रिएट सॉल्यूशन. सिलेक्शन ऑफ द मोस्ट एप्रोप्रिएट सॉल्यूशन. दैट मींस appropriate process, proper technology. should be adopted. तो appropriate process माने आमे कोण कले एटा गोटे काम करिबा ए कामटा आमे करछे एई उपाय करछे we are doing the work by this process whether our processes are appropriate or we adopt alternative process to get more is known as appropriate processes. Then acceptance for implementation. Then after the ways of management we have to accept for implementation. Implementation है कार्यकारी आगे करी सारा परे तापर हमें कार्यकारी करिबा. So these are the ways of management. तो परिचालन पे we have already discussed process of management, ways of management. तापर हम पढ़िबा ए ways of management परे implementation कार्यटा की परे हमें कार्यक्षम करेगा. बुझियो. So ways of or implementation, how we implement the work. Implement work ta dita stage. So the implement of work according to 2 stages. One is pre-operational stage, another is operation phase. Pre-operational phase, pre-operational phase and operational phase. What is that pre-operational phase? So pre-operational phase means before start the production. Suppose one industrialist will start an industry. So when one industrialist will start an industry, so before starting the production, he has to establish the industry. Gote industry करियो जाउची production पूर्वरु तार आनुषंगिक कार्यावली आनुषंग व्यवस्था करियो को जाय प्री ऑपरेशन. प्रोडक्शन करियो गला पूर्वरु मशीन कोटे जानिबा दरकार, को जगह नै करे दरकार, घर तयारी करे दरकार, स्टाफिंग पैटर्न दरकार, कोटु स्टाफ आने दरकार, केता टेक्नोलॉजिकल पर्सन दरकार, केता टेक्नीशियन दरकार. So all these things, there is only sort pre-operation. सब ready है गला, ready है पर production start है. Production start है operational phase. Production start पूर्व को आजे pre-operational phase. एडला operational phase. So when we start the project, when we implement the project, so 2 conditions are there. One is pre-operational phase, another is operational phase. Pre-operational before start the production, operational phase after starting the production. Then these are the implementation of the projects by the manager. Then factors affecting implementation. A gote project tiyari korche, gote plan tiyari korche for rural development, for the remote development, how the rural people will develop. For that we are making a plan. For that which factors are responsible. कौन factor रा आवश्यकता है. Which factors are responsible for the planning implementation in remote areas or in rural areas. कौन से कहूँ technical factor, that means a technology. The technology which we adopt, that technology should be better technology and technology factor technologically sound. कला कब्जा रे हमें साउंड हवा दरकार, उन्नत मानर कला कब्जा तैयारी करबा र आवश्यकता अछि. Sound technology should be adopted. Then number 2, economic and financial factors. Major is economic factor and financial factor. Suppose someone will implement or will establish an industry, but he is not financial sound. गोटे लोक गोटे इंडस्ट्री करियो चाहूची किंतु ता पाखरे अर्थ नाही. यदि अर्थ नाही ताले इंडस्ट्री करि परिबनी. जदि बा जति अर्थ सेते करिवो ताले अल्प इंडस्ट्री अधा बाटरे ताले इंडस्ट्री बंद हे. अनिल अंबानी, मुकेश अंबानी, what type of industries they are doing? सेमाने जो टाइप रो इंडस्ट्री करछन, बड़ बड़ इंडस्ट्री करछन. आ जने गोटे स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट विल से दैट आई विल डू सच टाइप ऑफ इंडस्ट्री. मु गोटे सेवला इंडस्ट्री करी ता माने हेई परिबो नाही. तो से बड़ा पर नहीं तो से कोन कहूची फाइनेंस. सो फाइनेंस इज द बिगेस्ट एस्पेक्ट फॉर द इंडस्ट्रियल मैनेजमेंट, फॉर द फैक्टर्स इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री. कौन सी शिल्प जे कोन शिल्प को परिचालन करिया पई अर्थ र निहात आवश्यकता अछि. अर्थ बिना कौन सी इंडस्ट्री परिचालित होई परिबो नाही. सो फाइनेंस इज द बिगेस्ट एस्पेक्ट फॉर द इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री. सो वी नो दैट मनी इज द मेजर. आमे से पढ्न कहउतले मनी 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 which is brighter than sunshine and sweeter than honey. बहुत मध्य मीठा एवं सूर्य किरण तो मध्य अधिक तेजस्वी, अधिक brighter तेजस्वी. तर money, because money is the medium of exchange and measure of every values, measure of every commodity in our country. Then money, so say कहूची economic and financial aspects. Then commercial factor. Commercial factor means sale and purchase. sell and purchase at commercial factor. That means after producing the commodity, the producer has to sell the commodity. If the producer will be unable to sell the commodity, then once production, second production, third production, unable to sell, then he will not try to produce the commodity. যদি গোটে লোক প্রডকশন করিব দ্রব্য গোটে বিক্রয় হই পারিব নাই তাহলে সে থরে থর তিন থর পরে আউ প্রডকশন করিবাকু চাহিব নাই আউ প্রডকশন করিবা নাই then she goes commercial factors. So commercial factor is the more important factor. That means selling and purchasing of the commodity. Raw materials should be easily available, output should be easily sell, so the producer should not take any headache to sell the commodity. जे कमोडिटी प्रोडक्शन करछि से कोनोसी प्रकार हेडाक नवा दरकार नै तार जेमति विक्रय हे पारिबो easily he will sell the commodity. That is commercial factor. Then social cultural factor. Society is another important factor. Socio cultural factor, that means society. So one production, if society will not cooperate, if society will not cooperate, cultural factors will not cooperate, then production will not possible. So socio-cultural factor is required. Then political factor. राजनीति अभिसंध रखी गोटे इंडस्ट्री बंद कर दिया राजनीति अभिसंध रखी गोटे इंडस्ट्री की तैयारी करा तेणु से कहूँ पॉलिटिकल फैक्टर इज द मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट फैक्टर. दैट मीन्स फॉर द इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट, फॉर प्रॉपर मैनेजमेंट, पॉलिटिकल विल, राजनैतिक इच्छा होचे सबठू इंपोर्टेंट. तेणु राजनीति अभिसंध रखी जदि गोटे आक्रोशमूलक पदक्षेप निया जाए ताले प्लानिंग प्रॉपर हो परिबा नहीं. So political factor is the most important factor for the economic development of the planning process. Then institutional, organizational and managerial factors. Institutional factors. So the institutions which are in the country. So these are also responsible for better implementation of planning. Planning ra ठीक रूप रे implement करिया पई तार factor affect करछि के institutions. Institutional factors. Then organizational factors. Sangataka, one who will organize, who will initiate the production process is known as organizer or is known as entrepreneur. So the entrepreneur will take the initiation in the production process and proper entrepreneur, and if the entrepreneur has certain knowledge regarding the ways of production, then proper management can be occurred. Then managerial factors, managerial ability, परिचालना परिचालनागत दक्षता. So the industrialist should have the managerial ability to manage properly the industry. Then people's participation. Then factors affecting people's participation. People's participation means lokmanankara anshagrahana. People's participation. So for proper management, people लोक माने ठीक रूप रे अंशग्रहण कर परले सेमान तांकर एडवाइस दे परले एवं रूल रेगुलेशन मानिले अर्थात अनुशासन. वर्तमान ए कोरोना समय कोन कहउछि ए जो कोरोना प्रॉब्लम है कोन कहउछि आपण माने सरकारंकर अनुशासन को ठीक रूप रे पालन करतो कोरोना हवा नाही. We can fight against the COVID-19 and it will be destroyed if we obey the अनुशासन बोलसे को जुटा को अनुशासन people's participation if we obey the administrators voice. Then integration and coordination. So cooperation among different employees, cooperation among different sectors should occur. Then the planning management will properly occur in the country. That is factors affecting implementation. So these are the first unit of the block 2, that is planning management. That is how we manage issues in management. Then unit 2, project dimension, identification and formulation. Unit 2 is project dimension, identification and formulation. So project dimension आयतन कोठी प्रोजेक्ट हबो को जाय प्रोजेक्ट हबो द डायमेंशन व्हिच आर एसेंशियल. तो फॉर प्रोजेक्ट डायमेंशन हमर केतरा पॉइंट से को प्रोजेक्ट डायमेंशन में कोन कोन कहूची एक्टिव ग्रुप. सो फॉर द प्रोजेक्ट डायमेंशन a group of people or a group of producers who are considered as the active group. That means they will be active. What is their work? Semana kono kono kamo a active group ta go we can divide into 4 parts. The active group is divided into 4 parts. Number 1, final commodity producing sector, final commodity production. So one is intermediate good, another is final good. Antarvarti dravya or antima dravya. Antarvarti dravya kon. So the commodity which are required to produce the final good is the intermediate good, and final good, the commodity which is ready for consumption is known as final good. जो द्रव्य गुड़िक उपभोग करने को योग्य से गुड़ा को फाइनल गुड कहे, जो द्रव्य गुड़िक उपभोग करने दरकार से कह जाए इंटरमीडिएट गुड. फॉर एग्जांपल सुगर, तेणु चीनी उत्पादन करने आखुर आवश्यकता अच्छी, तेणु आखु है इंटरमीडिएट गुड, सुगर है फाइनल गुड. आमे तेणु सुगर है रेडी फॉर कंजम्पशन, दैट इज फाइनल गुड. तेणु द गुड्स final commodity, so the producers will produce the final commodity. Number 2, productive infrastructural sector. Productive infrastructural sector. Structure, different structures are there. जो structure गुड़ी अच्छी तांका भितरे production करिवारा आवश्यक अछि. Infrastructural sector. Marketing infrastructural sector. Marketing infrastructure sector. Marketing बजार अर्थात द्रव्य प्रोडक्शन परे ताको विक्रय करिवार भित्तिभूमि सृष्टि हेबा दरकार. आमे कहूचे ए जो परिबा एग्रीकल्चर फार्मर्स, those are producing vegetables, the vegetable producers are producing vegetable. If they are unable to sell the vegetables in the market, then they will sell the commodity with very less cost, अल्प पैसा से माने विक्रय करते. तेणु मार्केटिंग रा भित्तिभूमि सृष्टि होला बोले आमे कहि परिबा नाही. तेणु मार्केटिंग रा भित्तिभूमि सृष्टि करिया पाई हमको मार्केटिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेक्टर शुड बी डेवलप. मार्केटिंग करिया पे प्रकृष्ट भित्तिभूमि रा सुजोग सृष्टि करबा को मार्केटिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेक्टर बोले आमे कहउचे. सोशल सर्विस सेक्टर. सोशल सर्विस सामाजिक समाज रे हाउ द पीपल ऑफ द सोसाइटी विल गेट बेनिफिट. So people of the society people benefit by social sector. Suppose one industry is there. What is that industry there? But the people of that region where the industry is established will oppose the industry. What industry करिबा सही एरिया लोक माने the industry को oppose करिवे ताले कोन industrial development हे परिबनी. Production वाले they will destroy the commodity, they will create some problems. तेणु याकू इंडस्ट्रिस्ट को by इंडस्ट्रिस्ट ओनर को problem solve करू ता देना पड़ेबा और से solve कर परिबा नहीं. The social service sector. So society should be developed. When society will be developed, then automatically the country will attain economic development. So country will attain economic development. Then se kochi eta hochi active group. Then in active group, so in the project dimension, in the active group, final commodity, productive infrastructure, marketing infrastructure, social service sector. So these are in the active group. Number 2, independent and complementarity. Independent decision. So the proper management, the manager will take the independent decision. That means the decision is taken by one person which will be obeyed by all. Gote je manager, see decision naba. So independent decision. If independent decision will not taken by the manager, then problems will arise. Control arise karibo. Others will not obey. Proper management will not occur. When proper management will not occur, rural development does not exist in the country. And when rural development will not occur in the country, automatically infrastructure problems will arise. Country will not attain economic development. So for country's economic development, independent decision of the manager should be taken. And when the manager will take independent decision, so all are obey that. Second point is independent decision. Third, potential beneficiary group. Potential beneficiary group. That means who will get benefit of the industry, who will get benefit of the process of production, who will get benefit of the rural planning, who will get benefit of the rural development. A rural development kale ग्रामांचल विकास करिया गले को माने बेनिफिट पाइबे बेनिफिशियरीज. तब से कोची पोटेंशियल बेनिफिशियरी ग्रुप वो माने पॉपुलेशन ऑफ ए कम्युनिटी. और निर्दिष्ट कम्युनिटी लोक माने बेनिफिट पाइबे. कोन निर्दिष्ट कम्युनिटी? Those who are residing below poverty line. For example, हमर 2 टंकिया चावल जो देहउछि 2 रुपए 2 टंकिया चावल कोन होछि 2 टंकिया चावल तो दउछन्ती सने कोन होछि से टका जो मान नउछन्ती से चावल जो मान नउछन्ती they are getting benefit. So population of a community, the people who are residing below the poverty line are under the poverty line, whose income is very low, they are getting benefit due to rural development. Then village community Gramanchalam. So rural development, the village people who are residing under the poverty line. So most of the village people are residing under the poverty line because employment opportunity is not available in village areas. Gramanchalam समस्त लोगों को employment opportunity दबा संभव पर है पर नहीं. So when it is not possible to provide employment opportunity to all the people of the remote areas. Remote areas सब लोगों को employment opportunity दिया न जाए परुची. तारे कौन जो माने ये rural development program अनुसार सब लोगों को employment opportunity दिया जाए परिबो. So village community will be beneficiary. Members of the cooperative society in village areas. Cooperation is required. Society, that means cooperative society is done by different persons. Mahila, Gramanchal Vikas Pai, society to that society. To that society development should be occurred. So rural development will occur for the cooperative society. Specific target group. Some group of people are specific target group. That means the depressed class of the society. The depressed class of the society. That means the persons who are depressed or suppressed in the society for their improvement. For example, SC, ST, then physical handicap. So the people who are require justice for their improvement. Semanakar improvement hele, desar improvement hey paribo. So se kochi depressed class of the society should be improved. When depressed class of the society will improve, all the people of society will improve, the economic development will arise. So proper management will lead to economic development of the country. Improper management will ruin the economic backbone of the country, and the country will attain underdevelopment, or country will not be a developed country. So for that, we have to adopt for these people of the society. Then project identification. We have to do some projects and we have to identify the projects. So the block level planning. So we have already discussed in block 1, block level planning. So in block level, all the villages should be developed. That is block level planning. Then technical features. Some technical feature is required. So for project identification, some technical features. That means we have to adopt a better technology for the improvement of the project. जो प्रोजेक्ट आमे तैयारी करबा से प्रोजेक्ट की बड़ी भाबरे भलो रही परिबो की बड़ी भाबरे प्रोजेक्ट डेवलप कर परिबो दोसे को टेक्निकल फीचर्स देन material condition means availability of raw materials. Suppose a sugar industry is established in an area. What area re what a sugar industry there what a chini sugar there. So what are the materials required for the sugar industry? Labor. Number 2, sugar cane. Sugar cane is required. If sugar cane will not available, then how the sugar industry will produce sugars? The sugar cane, if the sugar cane is not available, how the sugar industry will produce sugars? So for sugar industry, sugar cane is required and labor is required and some technicians are required who will implement the machines. So material condition. So materials अर्थात गोटे इंडस्ट्री करिया पे जो द्रव्य गुड़िकर आवश्यकता अछि सेही द्रव्य गुड़िक सेही मटेरियल गुड़िक मिलवा दरकार. Then skilled manpower. So labor is divided into 2 parts. So labor is divided into 2 parts. One is skilled labor, another is unskilled labor. So what is skilled labor and what is unskilled labor? Skilled labor means the laborer who is taking proper training regarding the production is known as skilled labor, and the laborer who is not taking any training regarding the production process is known as unskilled laborer. कुशल श्रमिक आउट ऑफ कोजा में अणकुशल श्रमिक. कुशल श्रमिक माने उत्पादन किपरि करा जिवो से विषय जे ट्रेनिंग नै थिवो उत्पादन प्रोसेस को अडॉप्ट करथिवो ताको हमें कुशल श्रमिक कहबा. जो माने उत्पादन प्रोसेस को अडॉप्ट न करथिबे ताको अणकुशल श्रमिक कहबा. So skill level. For example, in India, almost all the agricultural laborers are unskilled laborers. हमारा कृषि क्षेत्र जो माने काम करछो, they are unskilled. So माने skilled labor no. semane training re they are doing the work semane tankar se kama karuchandi तर कामरा process semane jani nahanti on skill level. So for project identification skill level is required kushali shramika. Yes, any question, any doubt? Yes, yes, any question from your side? No. So skilled manpower. So skilled manpower means skilled technology should be given. तेणु कुशल श्रमिक को नियुक्ति दिया जबार आवश्यकता अच्छी. तापर कहते प्रोजेक्ट फॉर्मुलेशन, हाउ टू फॉर्मुलेट द प्रोजेक्ट. So when we implement the project, so without formulation of the project, it is not possible to attain economic development. तेणु गोटे प्रोजेक्ट कले प्रोजेक्ट टाको ठीक रूप में फॉर्मुलेट ना करबा इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट हे परबा नै. तेणु कोन फॉर्मुलेट करबा से कहते डीपीआर. So detailed project report. So for the formulation of project, detailed project report is required. Hello learners. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you audible to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Yes. Okay. Any doubt? You may ask questions.
Okay, sir.
Project formulation. So DPR, the development project report. Development project report. Suppose any developmental work will be done. If any developmental work will be done, so that development, how much develop? केते उन्नत है पारला, केते उन्नत है पारला. सेटार रिपोर्ट टा प्रिपेयर करिया पे. That is development. So suppose गोटे क्लास रे 10 टा पिला अछि. 10 टा पिला रु वारी एग्जामिनेशन हला. After the examination, how many students are securing how many marks? परीक्षा पर केते लोक आ केते पिला केते केते मार्क रखले तार गोटे रिपोर्ट प्रस्तुत करिया. काहे के एटरे कम रखले, काहे के एटरे खराब रखले, काहे के एटरे कम रखले. सपोज तमरो सीआरडी कोर्स रो तीनटा पेपर अछि. एमआरडी 101, एमआरडी 102, एमआरडी 103. Suppose students are securing good marks in MRD 101. If 101 they are securing good marks, the report is given to the IGNOU authorities. So they will be happier. तेणु अधिका मार्क रखले. तेणु से कहूची रिपोर्ट. So for project formulation report, that means detailed report, detailed project report should be given to the project authority. Project authority के detailed project report टा देले हमारा economic development हे पर. तो से कौन कहूची DPR includes ए जो detailed project report रे कौन कौन रहउची. Background. What are the features of the detailed project report? A detailed project report रा background कौन रहउची. Background रहउची number 1 background. Feature रहला background. Project जो हला केते लोग बेनिफिट पाइले, कोड प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट हेछि, that is background. Number 2 project rationale. Project rationale. Whether the project which is implemented in the rural areas, which is going to be formulated in the rural areas, whether that project is justified to that area or that project is not justified to that area, whether that project will help to the poor people or that project will not help to the poor people. Project rationale. Then project area. Project area. Who area project has? Where the project established? Whether urban area or rural area. If rural area, how many poor people are getting benefits? So the rural area रही केते गरीब लोग तार benefit पाउछथि. So the urban area रही urban area में पढ़े देखने because we are discussing rural area development. So project area, how many people are getting improvement by the project is known as project area. Then organization and management. Organization, who organize that project? Say project को किया organize करछि. So whether the government is organizing that project or rural development or any private sector is organizing that project or any other sector will organize that project. So organization, that means entrepreneur will take the initiation regarding the production. So organizer, if the organizer is sufficiently sound, then the project will completely work in that area and people are getting benefit from that project. So rural people are getting benefit from that project. The rural people benefits through by paribe. तापर कोची organization management. The manager must be technically sound. That means what are the ways, what are the processes, and in which way the manager will manage the project. Project को को भलिया से manage करि परिबो. That is the another important aspect. That was the production, markets, and financial results. Production, markets, and financial results. So after management, production, how much production, how much commodities are required, how much production occurred, whether that commodity is demanded by the people or that commodity is not demanded by the people. So that is the production. Output is known as production. Kete output ba kete production hochi, that is output. Markets. So after producing the commodity, marketing of the commodity, that means whether the producer is able to sell the commodity or the producer is not able to sell the commodity is known as marketing. That means marketing facilities should be given to the producer, and when the marketing facilities will be given to the producer will sell the commodity. So selling and purchasing the commodity will proper coordination, which will improve the rural development. Then financial result. So financial result. So what is the cost and what is the benefit? So benefit and justification. So what is the production cost and how much price they will sell the commodity. Then a report report. These are the processes in which they are giving report to the people. So report. So this is project formulation. So these are the project formulation which is in unit 2. Unit 2 our project formulation रहेगा. तब से unit 3. Unit 3, 4, 5 तीन डायग्राम करके project appraisal, technical feasibility, economic feasibility and financial feasibility. तब पर जो तीन डायग्राम किससे project appraisal. Appraisal means मूल्य निरूपण. मूल्य निरूपण माने. So unit 3, suppose we will do a project, whether that project will fulfill the demand of that local people or not, whether that project will fulfill or provide or fulfill the demand of the local people. जो project टा में तैयारी कले से project टा से local people माने करा demand टा को fulfill करी परिबा ना करी परिबा. दशेरा में हमारा लक्ष्य हवा दरकार. तेरो से कहूची project appraisal. Appraisal means अनुसंधान बा मूल्य निरूपण. Project जोड़ा करी छे how far that is benefit. तीनटा जिनसे से मूल्य निरूपण करूची. Unit 3, Unit 4, Unit 5. तीनटा से कौन रखे छे? The appraisal of the project, technical feasibility, economic feasibility and financial feasibility. 3 feasibility are there. So unit 3 we will discuss the project appraisal, technical feasibility. Is project theoretical, the project which we establish in one area, what is the feasibility of that project. So what are the technical feasibility of that project. को technical feasibility रहुचा बेटा को मूल्य निरूपण करिबा. तो technical feasibility पर से कौन कहूची what, why and how. What are the aim of the project, how that, why we establish that project and how that project will function. A project में तीन टाइप से कहूची what, how and why. What are the aim of the project, why we establish the project and how that project will fulfill the demand of the local people or demand of that area. से area लोग माने करो demand टा की भले अवर से fulfill करिबो. That is what, why and how. तेणु से कहूची appraisal at working at the value, quality and condition of the project. A appraisal मूल्य निरूपण कौन करने के हमें करिया value, quality and condition. We can find out the value of the project, we can find out the quality of the project, we can find out the condition of the project. So this is known as technical appraisal, that is technical feasibility. There are some features of the technical feasibility. So what are the features of technical feasibility? So the features are time. So when we start a project, within proper time that project should be implemented, and within the time the project should be produced, and within the time bound that project will fulfill the demand of the people. So the number one technical feasibility or feature of technical feasibility is time. Number one technical feasibility is time. Number two, relationship. So production and demand. Production and demand. What commodities are produced by that project and how much of that commodity is demanded in the local area. से जो प्रोजेक्ट टा कौन तैयारी करुची कोई सब तैयारी करुची को द्रव्य उत्पादन करुची जो द्रव्य गुड़ी का उत्पादन करुची से द्रव्य गुड़ी का लोकल पीपल करा कितने डिमांड अच्छी जाती रिलेशनशिप. So number 1 time, number 2 relationship, number 3 economies and diseconomies of scale. So economies of scale and diseconomies of scale. What is economies of scale and what is diseconomies of scale? Economies of scale means when the producer is getting benefit from its production is known as economies of scale. जते बेले कौन सी उत्पादन करी तार उत्पादन रो लाभ पाई थाए एटा को जे economies of scale. Diseconomies of scale when the producer gets loss or faces loss is known as diseconomies of scale. जते बेले producer का loss face करता है इधर कौन आवा इधर एटा को हमें diseconomies. So the project's main aim is to economize of scale. Economies of scale means कितने लाभ पाइला. So we can measure that. So say go time, value, time, relationship, economies and diseconomies scale. Economies of scale means profit, diseconomies scale means loss. So economies of scale is in two ways, that is internal sources and external sources. Diseconomies is also two ways, from internal sources and from external sources. So when the producer is getting benefit from the internal sources is known as internal economies of scale, and when the producer gets benefit from external sources is known as external economies of scale. So economies and diseconomies of scale, profit and loss. Project should be given profit. If the project will give profit, then the rural sector will be benefited. How? One project gets benefit. He will provide more wage to the people. More wage is given by the people. So when more wage is getting by the people, they can invest more and they can consume more. And when the consumption increases in the society, production will automatically increase in the society. And when the production, consumption, both are increasing in society, the rural development must happen in the country. ग्रामांचल उन्नति बा रूरल डेवलपमेंट गोटे एरिया रे हेई परिबो निहाती भाबे हेई परिबो. then से होची इकोनॉमिक डिसीकोनॉमिक स्केल. then choice of processes, factor of production, choice of processes. So what commodity will be produced, how the commodity will be produced, the producer will take the choice, and what commodity he will produce. He will take the statistics of that area and what commodity is demanded by the people. What commodities are demanded by the people, that commodity will be produced by the producer. That is choice of processes. Then technical efficiency, what technology he will implement or what technology they will adopt to produce the commodity. That is the problem of choice, technical and locational. So technical. So what technical problems will arise? Jantrika truti, technical problems, better technology, better production. Low quality technology, low quality production. So technology, what technology will be adopted? Technical location, where the industry is situated, ko area re, ko location re industry achi, whether the industry will solve the local people needs or not. So this is the problems. So the appraisal, मूल्य निरूपण, आम गोटे इंडस्ट्री मूल्य निरूपण कर, रूरल डेवलपमेंट मूल्य निरूपण कर, टेक्निकल. सो यूनिट 3, 4, 5 these are 3, that is appraisal of the rural development, the planning which will be adopted for the improvement of rural development, how that will be effective. तेणु गोटे प्लान जदि आम रूरल डेवलपमेंट पे करबा, से रूरल डेवलपमेंट प्लान टा केते दूर इफेक्टिव होची, केते दूर इफेक्ट पकोची, एटा को जे हमरा डेवलपमेंट प्लान. तो से कहूची टेक्निकल 3 टाइम्स से कहला ओडला अप्रेजल ऑफ द प्लानिंग टेक्निकल फिजिबिलिटी, अप्रेजल ऑफ द प्लानिंग इकोनॉमिक फिजिबिलिटी, अप्रेजल ऑफ द प्लानिंग फाइनेंशियल फिजिबिलिटी. सो इन यूनिट 3 अप्रेजल ऑफ द टेक्निकल फिजिबिलिटी व्हिच वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड. यूनिट 4 से कोन कहूची प्रोजेक्ट अप्रेजल, economic feasibility आर्थिक क्षेत्र रे whether the project will be able to improve the economic condition of the people or not. लोक मानकर आर्थिक स्थितिर उन्नति करि परिबो ना आर्थिक स्थितिर उन्नति करि परिबो नाही, that is economic feasibility. So economic feasibility, there is features of economic feasibility कौन कहूँ quantitative measurement. Number one, quantitative measurement. When the producer produces the commodity, how much commodity that producer produce, we have to measure the quantity of the commodity. केते परिमाण र द्रव्य उत्पादन कला, that will determine the economic feasibility. Suppose more production will commence. If more production will arise, then more profit will arise. Economically developed, economically sound. Economically sound. Number one, quantitative measurement. That means more quantity of commodity will be produced. Number two, deciding between alternatives. Deciding between alternatives. One commodity produced, that is not demanded. Another commodity will be produced, or what commodity, alternative commodity will be required by the people. That commodity should be produced. Deciding between alternatives. This or that alternative data, eta nale seita exam karibaku kuajae deciding alternatives. Then number three, economic efficiency. Economic efficiency, that means economically we should be sound. Economic efficiency, the efficiency of the person economically. That means the financial, the economic condition. आर्थिक स्थिति रे स्वच्छल आसवाकू इकोनॉमिक एफिशिएंसी को कुआजाए अर्थनीति क्षेत्र रे जते बेले जो प्रोजेक्ट और इंप्लीमेंटेशन प्लानिंग रा जो माने करूचंती से माने यदि स्वच्छल हे परिबे से माने कुआजाए इकोनॉमिक एफिशिएंसी when the people will be or when the producers will be efficient in economically, that is economic efficiency. So economic efficiency तीन टाइम्स होने से करूची के economic efficiency government sector, private sector, और गोची social sector. So economic efficiency occurs in three sectors. Three sectors. Number one, public sector. Public sector means government sector. Government is of the people, for the people, by the people. Sarakar hochi ammanakar. So when the government is of the people, for the people, and by the people, so public sector, government sector, that means if government in an efficient government, the production of the country will increase and the rural development will occur. Economic efficiency in economically when they are efficient is not economic efficiency. So economic efficiency is three types. One is the public sector, number two private sector, number three social sector. Public sector, Sarakar, efficient government will make a rural development. That means what policies will be adopted for poverty eradication, that will be properly implemented in the country, because in efficient government the management process is very strong and government sector is very strong. That means economic efficiency will arise. Number two, private sector, private persons. The private persons who are producing, if they are efficient, if they are technically sound, if they know the pros and cons of the production process. Pros and cons of the production process means उत्पादन भल मंद दीटा जानी, they will manage properly and they will produce the commodity properly, and economic development can occur in the country, which leads to rural development. जोटा कि rural development from social sector, and society will develop. Society will develop. That means the rural sector, the people who are residing in the rural sector. जो लोक माने ग्रामांचल रे बसवास करछन्ती सेमानकर they have a society. That society will develop. So say society develop करबा दरकार, that is social sector. So economic efficiency will arise in public sector, private sector and social sector. If these three sectors will be adopted properly, then economic development will happen in the country. Cost and benefit. So economic development will arise due to cost and benefit. What is cost and what is benefit? Cost means when the producer produces the commodity, how much expenditure borne by the producer to produce the commodity is known as cost of production. कौन से उत्पादन करी जते बेले उत्पादन कार्य संपादन करती, उत्पादन कार्य संपादन करबा बेले केउ द्रव्य उत्पादन करती बा जेउ द्रव्य उत्पादन करती सही सब द्रव्य उत्पादन पाए समानकर जहाँ खर्च हुए ताऊ कुहाଯାଏ cost of production. That means to produce any commodity, the expenditure borne by the producer is known as cost of production. उत्पादन करिया पे उत्पादन करे जो खर्च साधन करंती ताको प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट बोले वाजे. सपोज ए प्रोड्यूसर प्रोड्यूसर दिस पेन ए पेन टाको 10 टका रे गोटे प्रोड्यूसर तयार कला. So this is the cost of production of the pen. This is the cost of the production of the pen. So the producer will produce the pen by 10 rupees. Then 10 taka la cost of production. Benefit, if the producer will sell this pen at 15 rupees, a pen ta jodi producer 15 टंका रे बिक्रा कला 10 टंका रे तयारी करछि 15 टंका रे बिक्री कला ताले बेनिफिट पाइबो. जदी 10 टका तयारी करी कि 8 टका रे बिक्री कला ताले लॉस पाइबो. So cost and benefit. So when a project is implemented, when a project is formulated, when a project is established by some person, so he will analyze the cost and benefit of the project. जदी ओटा प्रोजेक्ट तयारी प्रोजेक्ट पे केते खर्च होछि प्रोजेक्ट जो केते बेनिफिट पाउछि से सेटा एनालाइज करियो. दैट इज कॉस्ट एंड बेनिफिट ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट. तेणु कॉस्ट एंड बेनिफिट इज द इंपोर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट. कॉस्ट माने खर्च, बेनिफिट माने लाभ. जते बेले सरकार होंतु बा कोनसी घरोई संस्था हो बा समाज रे कोनसी व्यक्ति हो तले रूरल डेवलपमेंट पे चिंता करूछि, रूरल डेवलपमेंट तयारी होछि बा गवर्नमेंट तले रूरल डेवलपमेंट योजना करूछि, तले कॉस्ट एंड बेनिफिट, हाउ मच कॉस्ट विल अकर बाय द गवर्नमेंट and how much benefit will occur, केते खर्च करियो प्रोजेक्ट रे केते लाभ पाइबो. That is the cost benefit analysis which leads to economic development of the projects. जोटा कि ओटा प्रोजेक्ट रा इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट हे बात. द रोल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक अप्रेजल, द कॉस्ट ऑफ बेनिफिट पर से द रोल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक अप्रेजल. इकोनॉमिक अनुसंधान से करूछि कोन प्रोजेक्ट प्रेजेंट वैल्यू. So which production will occur, so what is that value of the commodity in present days. आज ओटे द्रव्य उत्पादन ला ए द्रव्यटार value केते, how much or what is the value of the commodity to produce that. So present value, then future value, if the commodity will be stored for a future purpose and in future how much profit that producer will get, that is future value. आज द्रव्यटार दाम एतिक अछि बा आज द्रव्यर दाम एहा अछि और भविष्य रे द्रव्यर दाम केते हबो. हेलो 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 स्टूडेंट्स, हेलो.
Yes, sir.
ओके,
Yes, sir.
आर यू ऑडिबल ऑल, आर यू ऑडिबल?
Yes, sir.
ओके.
Yes, sir.
अरे बुझी पाछो पिला माने जा पढौछि. हेलो
आज्ञा.
बुझी पाछो रे?
Agia,
ठीक
sir.
अछि. तमे नहले रेकॉर्ड बेजती बुझछ बाकी सार रेकॉर्डिंग पठे दउछथि. रेकॉर्डिंग टा मजा आउथर सुनि के बुझिबा. जा जा क्वेश्चन सब प्रिपेयर रखिबा. लास्ट क्लास मोर 30 तारिख सेदिन मते पछे.
Agia.
आज ही पछे आज भी क्लास पर पछे पालानी क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम योर साइड. बुझल नै? अरे ओटे के सोइबा पट्टे छाड़ इधर होछि कि रे? हेलो
नहीं sir.
मिनती नायक, मिनती
Nice,
नायक
sir. Nice,
आ
sir.
ओटे सोइबा पट्टे छाड़ जे भाबुछि यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड मी. ओटे
Nice,
सोइबा
sir.
पट्टे छाड़. ओके थैंक यू.
Agia, sir.
चलो से कहूँ प्रेजेंट रोल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक अप्रेजल, प्रेजेंट वैल्यू, फ्यूचर वैल्यू एंड पास्ट एनालिसिस. व्हाट इज द प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ द कमोडिटी. कमोडिटी रो प्रेजेंट वैल्यू केते, पास्ट वैल्यू फ्यूचर वैल्यू केते. आज रे दिन रे एतिक से तार वैल्यू काली बिक्री गले एतिक वैल्यू हो. तो प्रेजेंट वैल्यू, फ्यूचर वैल्यू एंड दैट विल बी कंपेयर्ड विथ द पास्ट वैल्यू. तार पास्ट पुराना वैल्यू सहित ताको कंपेयर करियो. दैट मींस when the commodities are produced, what is the value of that commodity. से commodity रो केते वैल्यू वर्तमान फ्यूचर केते वैल्यू हो पूर्व तार मूल्य केते थिला ताकू हम एनालिसिस कले we can proceed to the rural development. तेणु से कोन कहूची ए तीनटार से कहूची प्रेजेंट वैल्यू, नेट बेनिफिट, कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस, देन इंटरनल रेट ऑफ रिटर्न. इंटरनल रेट ऑफ रिटर्न when the producer will produce the commodity, जेतबेले producer टा commodity production करूची, what is the internal rate of return? Internal rate of return, that means after producing the commodity, at what price they will sell the commodity, then they will get the return. That means what is the cost of production, and instead of that how much they will get, that is the return. So this is the IRR, internal rate of return. This is all about your fourth unit of the second block. Then fifth unit is project appraisal 3. Third project appraisal, 3 4 5 3 टा यूनिट हम कहले कोन 3 4 5 3 टा यूनिट प्रोजेक्ट अप्रेजल. थर्ड यूनिट वाला प्रोजेक्ट अप्रेजल इन टेक्निकल फिजिबिलिटी. सेकंड फोर्थ यूनिट वाला प्रोजेक्ट अप्रेजल इकोनॉमिक फिजिबिलिटी, व्हिच वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड. थर्ड टा से कोन कहूची प्रोजेक्ट अप्रेजल फाइनेंशियल फिजिबिलिटी, आर्थिक सुविधा, financial feasibility, whether when the project started in an area or when the project occurs in an area. So whether the person who started the project is financially sound or financially not sound. जो लोकटी प्रोजेक्ट को तैयारी करची से फाइनेंशियली साउंड ना फाइनेंशियल साउंड नुहे. तर से कहूची if that person is financial sound, all of a sudden if money is required he can bring that money. तर जदि से फाइनेंशियल साउंड अछि, then unit 5 रे कोन कहूची project appraisal financial feasibility. That means the for rural development, the projects which will be started whether financially strong or financially not strong. तर फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट को से देखुची. तेनो यूनिट 5 तीनटा रहला प्रोजेक्ट अप्रेजल, टेक्निकल, इकोनॉमिक एंड फाइनेंशियल फिजिबिलिटी. Then we will go to unit 6 of the block 2. 6 7 8 तीनटा है आई स्टैंड बाय तीनटा सार देबे. If you have any doubt then ask. So unit 6 unit से कोन कहूची program implementation, activity planning, program implementation. So we have discussed planning. So what is planning? Planning is a blueprint, planning is a pre-strategy. So the program pre-strategy माने पूर्व निर्धारित. तो यूनिट 6 रे से कोन कहूची कौनसी ग्रामांचल विकास पई सरकार जो कार्यक्रम गुडी को हाथ को नेबे, से कार्यक्रम गुडी को किपरि भाव रे परिचालन करा जिवो, किपरि भाव कार्यक्षम होई परिवो ता सरकारकर कार्य. तो से कहूची प्रोग्राम इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. So program will be implemented in the country. Then कोन होची extreme examine the concept and process of planning and management. Examine the concept and process of planning. Planning ra कोन process, what are the process, in which process we will go, वो process रा में मूवमेंट करबा जा पर planning हमर हे परिबो. तो से होची activity planning. So there are different steps to adopt the plan. ए प्लान उडी आउट करा को हमको विभिन्न स्टेप देख जो पुछ कोन स्टेप देख जे पुछ. स्टेप 1, स्टेप 2, स्टेप 3, स्टेप 4, स्टेप 5 से कहू टू इंप्लीमेंट द प्लान्स. फॉर इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ द प्लान्स वी हैव टू अडॉप्ट डिफरेंट स्टेप्स. हमें साधारण भाव रे पांचटा स्टेप देई की पांचटा स्टेप गति करी की ए प्लान उडी का करू इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट. तो कोन पांचटा पाटा से रहउची. फर्स्ट स्टेप 1 कहूची prepare a list of all activities. So when we will start a project we have to prepare all activities. कौन करिबा हमर activity कौन. Suppose a project will start, but a project start रे से कौन कहूची when the project will start. So what are the activities, कौन activity हमरा दरकार पड़ची. प्रथम first step is to implement the plan, to activate, to list the activities कौन करिबा आवश्यकता अछि एटा हमरा दरकार पड़छ. तापर सेकंड स्टेप कहूची a logical sequence. Logical sequence means order which the activity follow. So when we make a list of the activities, what are the ways that activities follow, से activity रा कौन कले हे परिबो. Suppose for example one activity is collection of raw materials. So what are the steps we will adopt, कौन step हम adopt कर परिबो, कौन कले हमर activity ता काम होई परिबो, activity ता proper order we can follow the activities. So a logical sequence, order which the activity follows. Number 2, activity undertaken simultaneously. activity undertaken simultaneously. All the activities, after making the list of the activities, simultaneously all the activities should function. ତେଣୁ ଆମର ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିର ସବୁ ଯାକ କେମିତି ଫଙ୍କସନ କରିବ, ଏକକାଳୀନ ସବୁ ଯାକ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଫଙ୍କସନ କରିବା ଦରକାର। ଓକେ ଓକେ, ଆର୍ ୟୁ ଲିସନିଂ?
Sir.
Are you
Yes, sir.
listening? Okay. Minati Naik, Minati Naik,
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍।
are you understand or
ୟେସ୍
not?
ସାର୍।
ଓ
ୟେସ୍ ସାର୍
ନାଇଁ,
ଆଣ୍ଡରଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡ।
ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ଫଟୋଟେ ଦେଇଛ, ଗୋଟେ ପିଲାଟେ ଶୋଇଛି ତ, ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି you are not able to understand. If you are not able to understand, ask me a question. Okay, thank you. Then step 2, a logical sequence order which the activity follow, activity undertaken simultaneously. Then step 3, we have to adopt step 3. Step 3 कौन कहूची? Estimate the specific duration of time. प्रथमे कहला जे activity, द्वितीय कहला को वे activity काम करिवो, तृतीय कहला time. So within certain time frame, within certain time bound, और निर्दिष्ट समय नहीं की हमें गोटे प्रोजेक्ट कले 6 मास कि 8 मास कि वर्षे, we have to finish that project. That's why the project will be helpful for the people. प्रोजेक्ट लोक पिला मानक पे हेल्पफुल हे परिबो, तेणु हमें सेटा करिया दरकार। तापर से कहूची स्टेप 5, स्टेप 4, स्टेप 3 वाला ड्यूरेशन ऑफ टाइम, स्टेप 4 वाला असेंबल ऑफ द एक्टिविटीज, assemble of the activities. All the activities will be simultaneously assembled. सब जाक activity दियो, जब प्रथम हमें activity list करिबा, तापर इक्वली activity गुडा को डेवलप करिबा, तापर से होचा assemble सब जाक activity जाक गोटे जाय रखी कि how to work and the work will be do properly, will functioning properly, proper function हे पर दरकार। Step 5 को जी network analysis and analyze the flow diagram. Network ये सब एक्टिविटी असेंबली कर सारा परे नेटवर्किंग, नेटवर्किंग मींस coordination among different agencies who are related with the project. Definition, different relation among different or coordination among different persons who are related with the project. जो माने एक प्रोजेक्ट सहित अनुबंधित, जो माने प्रोजेक्ट सहित ओतप्रोत भावे जड़ित से मानकर नेटवर्किंग तांका भीतर कोऑर्डिनेशन कमिटी करले प्रोजेक्ट विल प्रॉपर्ली फंक्शनिंग, प्रॉपर फंक्शन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट है परिबो। So these are the activities. So for the activity, 5 steps are there. Step 1, activity list. Number 2, logical sequence. Number 3, time. Number 4, assemble the activities. Number 5, networking. So these are the activities. Then a list of various activities. कौन activity हमें करिबा? What are the activities we will do? List of various activities. कौन list of various activities है कोची? Project plan approval. So when we implement a project, we have to make a plan and that plan should be approved. जो प्लान अनुसार हमें प्रोजेक्ट टा करिया बोली भाबी छे से प्लान टा अप्रूव हवा दरकार। तो से कहूची प्रोजेक्ट प्लान अप्रूवल। Number 2, recruitment of staff. Another important aspect is staff recruitment. Staff recruitment means केते staff हमारा रहिबे, how many staffs will work, recruitment सब staff मान रखा पे जो हमें इंटरव्यू करिबा, we have to choose who will be better for the industry, who will be better for the project पे के भलाई परिबो, so recruitment of staff. Then purchase of machinery, we have to purchase different machineries, machines will be purchased. Machines will be purchased means, so what machine? Suppose for sugar industry, the machine which will produce sugar, that machine is required. So the project owner or the government or the industrialist will purchase the machine and that machine will produce the commodities. Obtaining power supply line, power supply, that means electricity. So power, electricity, if we supply electricity, whether electricity will be available to that area or electricity is not available, so that is obtaining power supply. Then training of staff. So the staffs who are recruited, who are appointed in the industry, training will be given to the staff For that, there will be well developed staff or which is known as skilled technology. जो staff मानक आमे रखिबा, जो staff मानक प्रोजेक्ट भीतर रखा जिवो, those staffs will take proper training and they will be skilled. से मानकु को बाटरे काम करिवो, केमिति काम कर जे परिवो. That is the way don't develop हे परिवो. Then installing machines. तामरे machine टाको सब ट्रेनिंग दे साल परे machine will be installed. Machine टाको हमें कार्यक्रम करिवो, machine टाको install करला. तापरे कहूची installing machinery, electricity wire, electrical wiring. So electricity, that will be wiring, electrical wiring. हमें electric नबा, that will be benefit for the project. Electric नबा दरकार. Pilot run. Pilot माने कौन? What is pilot? Pilot means who will drive the plane. Is known as pilot. Who will drive the plane? The plane is the pilot goes. So similarly, when the project will be functioning, we have to produce in such a manner that is in piloting. Pilot run. Pilot जेमिति विमान टाकू द्रुत गति चलाउछि विमान टाकू चलाउछि सेमिति हम प्रोजेक्ट टाकू सेही बडा चलेबा जे बडी बेनिफिट हे परिबो ओनली बेनिफिट विल अराइज. That means in which way the pilot will piloting the aeroplane चलाउछि from one place to another place. For example, Delhi ru gala America. तो पायलट दिल्ली नला अमेरिका पर. So he is piloting. जैसे ठीक रहे प्लेन टा न चले परिबा समुद्र भीतर प्लेन टा खस पड़िबो. People will face the death. लोग माने मर जाइसु. So similarly, in which way the pilot or driver will drive the vehicle. So similarly, in that way, the manager or the management or the organizer or the entrepreneur will drive the project in that way. That means pilot run will arise and the production will increase and rural development can happen. This is all about your unit 6. Then we will discuss unit 7. Unit 7 कौन कहूची monitoring. Monitoring माने ताको किमती परिचालना करिला. Monitoring the project. So monitoring the project, how we monitor. Do you know monitor? When you read in your UP school or minor school or high school. तमे जले UP school, minor school, high school पढुतलो, जे क्लास आउट पढ पिला थिले, तने गोटे मॉनिटर बछाउतला. मॉनिटर कोन करियो? के क्लास रे पार्टी करूची, सर अमक पार्टी गला. सर से पार्टी गला. तार सर तमे तू पार्टी गलु, ना नाही पार्टी करी. ना मॉनिटर कहूची, दिबे त बाडुतले. तनो similarly monitoring the project, monitoring the rural development. That means who will lead the rural development is known as monitoring the rural development. जे नेतृत्व नव rural development केमिति हबो जा नेतृत्व रे करा जिवो, that is monitoring the rural development. So look out of the person who will look out the benefit, who will monitor the rural development, who will monitor the work is known as monitoring the rural development. So the features of so monitoring ko way monitor karibo. In what way he will monitor? What are the ways he will monitor the project? So the ways, desired direction. Monitoring means one se kochi. Monitoring means look out. Leadership. जार नेतृत्व रे प्रोजेक्ट को दिया गला सेडा लीडरशिप बा मॉनिटरिंग जे तार समस्त भला मद बुझियो ता को जाय मॉनिटरिंग. तन को जे डिजायर्ड डायरेक्शन. Desired direction, that means where the leader is interested to give direction the people, the workers or the others that in this way you have to do the work. एई बाटरे तमे सब काम करो. तन से कहउची desired direction. Number 2, given time schedule. समय. It is the first and foremost duty of the monitor or the director who will direct the project, who will give direction to the project. It is his lookout how the project will be finished within a stipulated period of time. एक निर्दिष्ट समय रो अवधि भितरे किपरि भाबरे प्रोजेक्ट सारिबो एटा होची तार लुकआउट. बुझला. So number 2, given time schedule. Number 3, target population. target population. So the project is implemented or the project is established by the government for certain target. That means abolish the poverty, abolish the unemployment, abolish the inequality, abolish the starvation death. That means से कहूँ कौन target population. So गोटे लक्ष्य रखिकी प्रोजेक्ट को इम्प्लीमेंट कराई. What is the target? Abolition of poverty, eradication of unemployment. So remove inequality. How the people of the country will not face starvation death. किभली भाव में ग्रामांचल लोक माने कौन से लोक अनाहार मुक्त रहिबेनी. So it is the first and foremost lookout of the government to provide food to all the people of the country. गोटे जनमंगल राष्ट्र प्रथम लक्ष्य होची समस्त को नियुक्त सुजोग देई कि समस्त किपरि खाद्य वितर रहि पारे. फूड फॉर ऑल जो योजना प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी इंप्लीमेंट करे फूड फॉर ऑल. नोबडी विल बी स्टारवेशन. केही भोकिला रहिबे नहीं. हंगर केही क्षुधारे रहिबे नहीं. एवरीबॉडी शुड गेट फूड. So this is the third point, target. Then achievement of targets. So what target we fix, we have to achieve that. Suppose, my dear learners, you are interested for securing more than 70% marks in MRD 103. तमें चाहो रखियो तो तमें चाहिले एडा लाम तमरो कोन टारगेट बट अचीव रखि परले एडा. So on the last day, I will give some questions which will be important question for you on 30th. 30 तारिख 30 एप्रिल जो क्लास আছে मुझे जे क्वेश्चन तमु देबी से क्वेश्चन उडागा तम प्रिपेयर कर सेना सारिया कोर्स. तो से अचीवमेंट ऑफ टारगेट्स एंड द बेनिफिट्स. तनो अचीवमेंट 7% मार्क हो चाहू से रखिले दैट इज अचीवमेंट. टारगेट रखिले से अनुसार हमें प्रिपेयर करबा दरकार. तो से कहूची कोऑर्डिनेशन बिटवीन डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स. So a project is there for rural development. But a project hoji the project ra working sector, managing sector, production sector, collection sector, selling sector, marketing sector, vivina sector achi. How all these sectors will get benefit? Will get benefit. Sabu sector udaga give the benefit by paribe. That is the main motto. Seta ba darkar. Then resource allocation. On that day, I have already discussed that India is full of natural resources but scarce in its utilization. So when India is full of natural resources but scarce in its utilization, that's why India is an honorable country. भारत प्राकृतिक संपदा भरपूर होता राष्ट्र हेले मध्य प्राकृतिक संपदार सुविनियोगर अभाव फल भारत वर्ष गोटे अनुन्नत राष्ट्र. अर्थात the natural resources are not utilized up to the optimum level. Optimum level le natural resource raga utilize par nahi. Teno a monitoring the plan, one who monitor the rural development kare pe je monitoring korchi, je monitor korchi tar lakshya darkar resource allocation. The resources which are available in that rural areas, how these resources will be utilized and abolish the poverty, unemployment and inequality. तो से कहूँ information system से कहूँ information that will lead to analysis will lead to conclusion leads to decision and decision leads to implementation follow up and production will occur in the country and rural development can occur in the country. So some information is given. What are these? So information should be reliable. So for eradication of poverty, what information is given by the reporters, that should be reliable. जो information टा सरकार पाखरे पहुंचीबो से information टा reliable information सरकार पाखरे पहुंचीबार आवश्यकता अछि. जदि reliable information सरकार पाखरे पहुंचला ताले से rural development हे परिबो. because information should be reliable, relevant to particular situation. So the project or the implementation should adapt in a particular situation. Relevant कौन सी situation ता relevant लगाना. Poverty alleviation, providing employment opportunity, provide social equality, provide justice to the suppressed and depressed class of the society. Then information must available on time. Samaya, very important time. Time is most important aspect. So information must be available on time. Samare, prakushta samare, information daja pariba uchit. Then information should be in a tabular form. Information or a tabular form, information rakhale, a tabular form will give the information and people will attend more information. So when the project will start, evaluation, implementation and analysis of the project, and lastly monitoring the project, how we monitor the project को लीड करिवो जे अब हम कहू जे मॉनिटर जहार नेतृत्व रे प्रोजेक्ट को कार्यक्षम करा जाए प्रोजेक्ट इंप्लीमेंट हे पारे तो कहू जे प्रोजेक्ट monitoration or monitor of the project, one who monitoring the project is known as monitor of the project. Okay. Then last unit of the block 2, unit 8, project evaluation. So last unit, project evaluation. So what is that project evaluation? So when we monitor the project, when we start a project, when the project will produce, when we start a project, we have to bear some expenditure, or when the government will adopt some plans or policies for poverty eradication of the rural sector, of the remote areas, government has to spend some money, government kisi paisa kharcha kare for the improvement of the people. So when the project will start, how the project will be evaluated, whether we achieve the success or we are not achieving success, we failure. जदि गोटे प्रोजेक्ट हैला तो वी आमे प्रोजेक्ट अचीव कर परिबा बा कोन इवैल्यूएशन इवैल्यूएशन प्रोजेक्ट मींस वैल्यूएशन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट हमर प्रोजेक्ट जगु केते बेनिफिट हैला प्रोजेक्ट जगु केते लॉस हैला दैट इज द इवैल्यूएशन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट. Then unit 8 last unit of block 2 is evaluation of the project, that is achievement of the growth. So in our past class we have already discussed economic development, economic growth. So economic development means the development of the underdeveloped countries or the development of the developing countries is known as economic development, whereas the development of the developed countries is known as economic growth. उन्नत राष्ट्र मानकर उन्नत हवाकू इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ कहा जाए, अनुन्नत राष्ट्र मानकर उन्नत हवाकू इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट कहा जाए. So we are discussing rural development. In India, most of the people are residing under the rural areas. भारत वर्ष रे अधिकांश लोक रूरल बेल्ट रहउछ. जदि भारत वर्ष रा अधिकांश लोक रूरल बेल्ट रहले ताले सेमानकर इंप्रूवमेंट सेमान पे जो प्रोजेक्ट हला, हाउ फार दैट प्रोजेक्ट विल बी अडॉप्टेड, दैट इज इवैल्यूएशन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट. हमें प्रोजेक्ट रा वैल्यू को इवैल्यूएट करबा, वी हैव टू इवैल्यूएट द प्रोजेक्ट. कोन इवैल्यूएशन से कहउची? सोशल इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, when rural development work will implement in the rural areas. ग्रामांचल विकास जो कार्य गुड़िक करा जाउची से कार्य गुड़िक से कौन कहूँ सोशल इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, सोसाइटी केते डेवलपमेंट होउची, वेदर द सोशल डेवलपमेंट सामाजिक उन्नति हे परछि ना नहीं, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट अर्थनैतिक उन्नति हे परछि नहीं. So social and economic development, whether occurs or not, that is the main evaluation. If social and economic development will occur, then the country will attain economic development. तो से कौन कहूँ तो इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट पे से कहूँ इवैल्यूएशन करा बेले सोसाइटी हमर डेवलप करि पारुचे ना सोसाइटी डेवलप करि पारबो नाही. That is the first point, project evaluation. So achievement, social economic development. Number 2, resource availability, availability of resources. So when we start the project, in which location we start, हमें कही थे project to start करिया को location में project करिवा. When we start in the location, जो location में project start करिवा, से location में से कोई resource availability, whether resources are available in that location or जो area रे हमें project आउ करिचे से area रे project रा resource धरा जाओ sugar industry. I am giving example of sugar industry today. आज भी जैसे example देची, so sugar industry example देची. Suppose in one area, suppose Aska, Nayagat, the 2 sugar industries are there. So in this area, government established the sugar industry because sugar cane is available. कि ब्रजराज नगर पेपर मिल जैसे करिची कहीं बैम्बू इज अवेलेबल, जोटी जो मिल ला गवर्नमेंट करूची, जोटी जो रॉ मटेरियल अवेलेबल है पड़ची, जोटी जो कमोडिटी अवेलेबल है पड़ची. ତେଣୁ ର ମେଟେରିଆଲ ଯଦି ଆଭେଲେବଲ ହେଇପାରୁଛି ସେଠି ସେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛି ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ତିଆରି କରୁଛି ତେଣୁ ସେ କହୁଛି ଯେ ରିସୋର୍ସ availability so where the government will make the industry in that locality resource will be available for example in Nayagarh or in Aska or in Brajanagar so government think Nayagarh Aska eti akhu mil paruchi ତେଣୁ sugar industry Brajanagar ରେ ଦେଖିଲା ଯେ ବାମ୍ବ ମିଳି ପାରୁଛି ବାଉଁଶ ମିଳି ପାରୁଛି ତେଣୁ ସେ ପେପର ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରି କରୁଛି ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରି କରାଯାଉଛି ଯୋଉ ଏରିଆରେ ରିସୋର୍ସ so evaluation of the project depends on resources if resources are available then project will properly functioning if resources are not available project will not properly functioning okay then assess various programs assess so what are the programs in which way the rural development will implement in the country for the improvement for the upliftment of the rural poor we have to assess that सेगुडा को हम आकलन करिया पड़िबो सेगुडा हमें असेस करिया पड़िबो असेस करा परे असेस वेरियस प्रोग्राम्स वी हैव द प्रोग्राम्स व्हिच विल इंप्लीमेंटेड तेनो इवैल्यूएशन पे कोची सोशल इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन भलावा दरकार जो एरिया रे जो इंडस्ट्री कले से एरिया रे सही रिसोर्स ता अवेलेबल होतो रिसोर्स अवेलेबल हेले project can be fruitful number 3 se gochi assess the various programs the programs which will be done which will be implemented we have to assess that taro mulyar avatarana kariba taro mulyar avatarana kari parle our economic development he paribo so rural development can occur then techniques and criteria there are certain technology techniques kon techniques adapt karibo what are the technique we adapt for the evaluation project evaluation पे कौन technique adopt करिया so technical criteria if for our पढ़ेगा only 5 minutes will finish the course then you can ask any question okay so a technical criteria okay understand yeah
Okay, sir.
okay अब 5 minutes में भी पढ़ेगा 5 minutes में block 2 सारी बात then you can ask any question from your side so techniques and criteria so we have to adopt different techniques for the rural development what are the techniques efforts so the project which will be adopted for rural development so the employees will take certain effort प्रचेष्टा जो employee रहे से माने प्रचेष्टा करे दरकार how the rural development will arise बुझे how the rural development will arise effort and प्रचेष्टा हमें चेष्टा करे दरकार how that project how that rural development work will be properly done then performance so if efforts then performance अग्रगति performance is progress of the project then project ro progress ta को हमें देखबा दरकार ताबरे adequacy पर्याप्तता amount how much quantity of production will arise then efficiency and process efficiency of the project how far that project is efficient to produce is the efficiency of the project this is all about the project evaluation so block 2 has been finished okay hello dear student brothers hello
yes sir
block 2 टा सरियाला टाइम आई सरियाला तनो block 1 टा सरियाला आपको सरियाला आ गोटे block रहेगा any doubt you have dear learners Keshav Chandra
yes sir
have you any doubt are you understand
properly sir understand
okay thank you very much Minati Naik
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
are you understand properly
Yes, sir.
okay जहाँ doubt रहेगा आप पचास करो doubt from your side Sabita madam
Yes, sir.
are you properly understand
Yes, sir.
okay then Balia's Sangin production अरे इमिडिया कोण नाही द्यायचं Okay.
Sir, it is clear, sir.
Clear tha? Okay, thank you. So I have finished block 2. Then on 30th April, I will start block 3. Okay. And after finishing block 3 on that day, I will discuss some questions and answers.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. A lot of thanks to you who are attending the classes, online classes. Again, I thank much more thanks to IGNOU authorities who are arranging such type of classes. IGNOU authority manku, specially Dr. Santosh Kumar Panigrahi mu asaya dhanyabad dochi. I give a lot of thanks to Dr. Santosh Kumar Panigrahi because his efforts is much more for the online classes. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you and
Okay,
welcome.
thank you very much. And again, you are welcome on 30th April. Thank you very much. We have finished block 2. On that day, we'll start block 3.
Okay, sir.
Karan Koivar's ko.
So now we'll end the class, sir.
Okay? Yes?
Any question of any students?
Any question from any student? Welcome. Ask any question.
If not, then we'll end the class.
Dear
Okay, then wind the class. Thank you very much to all of you.
Okay, thank you, sir.